Halloween Ends. You know, here's a funny story about Halloween Ends. Me and a friend saw it, right? And I remember being in the theater, and ads weren't playing at the time, which isn't a huge deal because, sometimes you just don't start the projector, sometimes ads just don't play. Regardless, no ads were playing, didn't think really much of it. And then about 10 minutes go by after the movie's supposed to start and nothing's happening. Now, the theater I go to, they usually pay about 10 to 15 minutes of trailers, so I thought to myself, okay, maybe they're just skipping over that. I'm not exactly sure. So I go out and I'm like, hey, nothing's going on. What's the deal? They're like, oh, I'm sorry about that. We'll start it right up. And they did. It was great. Props to them. I had no issue with it. It was fine. Regardless, though, I remember watching that opening scene, and I was like, what are we focusing on this guy so much for? What are we focusing on Corey for? What is the purpose of that? I'm not exactly sure. And then the movie just kept, and then I must be stupid or something, but that was the movie's way of saying, hey, this is a main character, get to know him, pay attention to him. And I was like, Corey wasn't exactly my favorite part of that movie. By no means was any part of that movie my favorite. I've only revisited it twice. Once once at the theater, and then once when I bought it on Blu-ray, because I'm a completist when it comes to physical media. And I can't wait to watch it again this year, just so I can kind of figure it out. Did I like it? Does it fit within the story? Just because it kind of feels so, Halloween and Halloween Kills feel like they are just so together. Whereas Halloween Ends is not only is it a time jump, but it just feels very separated from that main story. I really would have thought Halloween Ends would have been directly after Halloween Kills, we would have saw Laurie trying to find Michael Myers all by herself, something like that. But no, it took in a completely different route, with a completely different message about how evil is this, evil is that, and truthfully, at some point, the idea of everyone saying evil is this, evil is that, it just gets a little old, right? Right? Come on. But if my memory serves me well, which usually does, sometimes it doesn't. It kind of works for the most part, I think. I'm not sure if I'm the right person to say it. I have not seen all 74 Halloween movies, but regardless, I still think there's a lot of fun to be had with that movie, especially with, all the things that Michael Myers and, Corey's doing. I actually, the more the movie went on, I was a little more on board with Corey. I guess my all-time biggest gripe with that movie is when he is, he's killed. I believe he's stabbed in the throat, and then he has plenty of time to mutter out a couple more lines, and then he dies. And I think that's the whole point. Evil is so powerful, and it's just, to me, it was more like evil is a great plot device to move the story forward. Right. But at the end of the day, the new Halloween trilogy is a trilogy I can come back to, especially during this time. And you know what? I plan on enjoying it this year because, you sit down either by yourself with friends and you put them on the TV, and again, it's just the best parts of this time of year. And so, yeah, you will catch me watching new Halloween trilogy. And yeah, we'll see you back here tomorrow for a new Halloween movie we'll talk about, a new spooky time movie. And thank you for listening to me talk about the newer Halloween trilogy. And like I said, we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.